Differently. Well, it's time. I'm afraid, folks, it's time.
Time, why you punish me like a wave crashing into the shore? You wash away my dreams. Time, why you walk away like a friend with somewhere to go? You left me crying. Can you teach me about tomorrow and all the pain and sorrow running free? 'Cause tomorrow's just another day, and I don't believe in time. Children killing in the street, dying for the color of the rain. Time, either red and blue. Wash them in the ocean, make them clean. Maybe their mothers won't cry tonight. Can you teach me about tomorrow?
Howdy, folks. That was Time by Hootie the Blowfish. Half of the song, anyway. It's got a jam-packed show for you today. Well, I don't know about jam. Well, Mama will load it on you. Anyway, shortly I've got Vinny Eastwood coming on for a bit of a chat, just to talk about what he's been doing lately and other bits and pieces. But in the meantime, I've got a speech from last week sometime, Sunday or something, at down in Sydney. Ricardo Bosi, who's having a bit of a word, and in a sec I'll bring that up. You see, you got the wrong screen up again. Let's try that one. Just skip to about up here a bit. Around about here, yep. Let's try that.
Or is he at home?
Don't stop fighting, Simeon.
So to the brave men and women who are fighting a real war against a scourge that has been controlled.
Sorry, folks. This is the right spot. Had it before, but
Round of applause. For those of you who aren't certain, these are not my daughters, they're my security for today. Okay, let's start with a prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Amen. The power and the glory and the kingdom is yours now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to start very briefly with a word of thanks to Igor Azayev, the Consul General for the Russian Federation, for Alexei Pavlovsky, the Ambassador for the Russian Federation, and we would ask them to pass on our personal thanks to the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin. And not just to the President, but to the people of Russia, and also to the brave men and women who are fighting a real war against a scourge that has been controlling this planet for thousands of years. And our message is of thanks. And as I've said before, this is a debt we owe the Russians and others that we will never be able to repay, but it is one we will always remember. This is a real war, the truth of which will be coming out soon. The horrors that they are experiencing, you can see for yourselves. And when the truth does come out, and I wish we were wrong. I honestly wish we were wrong, but we're not. When the truth does come out, the others who have called us liars and fools will be deeply regretful. Because this is without precedent. This global conflict, this war for the world, is without precedent. In other wars, land has been the objective. And in the process, people have been killed. But this time, the purpose is the genocide of the entire human population. They wanted to reduce us to 500 million. The evidence is there. It is unequivocal. They just need to kill us. Now, we came very, very close to succumbing to this, except for the courage, bravery, and foresight of men and women around the world in various armed forces who are engaged in this conflict. So once again, to the President of Russia, thank you to your people and to your military. I'd like you to consider briefly how far we have come in a very short period of time. Now, some of you out there have been awake for 30 years, desperately trying to tell people what's been going on. It must have been a lonely place. And there are heads nodding. And some learned 20 years ago, and some 10, some 5, and some last week. If we wanted to know whether we were winning or not, we had evidence last night when they arrested Dave Graham. Because they were so desperate, they made a strategic error, a small decision with massive impact. They arrested Dave, we got the word out, and within minutes, and I mean within minutes of Kaz getting that first message out that Dave has gone down, we were getting communications from A to Z, from America to Zimbabwe, saying, "Free Dave Graham." Now, we set ourselves the objective of making this New South Wales state election that's coming up not just a state issue, not even an Australian issue, but an international issue. And I'd like to thank the the New South Wales Police that raised it to an international issue. So thank you very much. So to Commissioner Karen, the Commissioner of New South Wales Police, and all those assistant commissioners who really run the show, thank you. A deep thank you, because now the world is looking at New South Wales, and the crooks in the New South Wales Electoral Commission, if they try to cheat, it will be so obvious they'll spend the rest of their miserable lives in jail. Ladies and gentlemen, we got this. We have got this. Now, somebody asked me, what's the point of voting? Because they're going to cheat. Of course they're going to cheat. That's why we call them cheaters.
Everything's on here, DK.
Because they cheat. Now, here's the thing. This has never been done before. And I love it when somebody says, oh, it can't be done. Why not? Never been done before. Really? Now you've got my attention, now you've got my interest. I'm just one of those guys. It's a bit like the 4-minute mile. Years ago, the experts, and as you know, there's a cheap one-liner about experts. X is an unknown factor and a spurt is a drip under pressure. The experts said the human body couldn't withstand the physiological pressures required to run a mile under 4 minutes, and everybody believed them. Until somebody did. And within 12 months, another 3 did. And all of a sudden, the 4-minute mile wasn't a barrier anymore. We can do this. We are going to mobilise the entire state to vote. We have already got Queenslanders, South Australians, Victorians and Tasmanians asking for where they can stay so they can come up for 3 weeks to man the booths for us. There are 93 electorates, and in each electorate you've got somewhere between 15 and 20 booths, and we're going to have them all manned because we're going to go online. You can download the how to votes, you can download the handouts, you can download the call flutes, you can print them out yourself, all legally. We'll have the instructions there. Give us a week or so to set that up. So if you're worried about it, you haven't got it yet, relax. We've got the best people on the job, and this will be done. Now, just so you're aware, everybody on this group ticket that we have, and there are 6 of us, you know that Dave and I are on, and you've met Jackie and Franco today, and there's another 2 to come. We've got 6 on. Everybody in the state, because we're all going for the upper house. We're not going for the lower house. Just get a bit technical here. This is not a local electorate we're running for. We are running for the upper house, which represents the entire state. So everybody in New South Wales will be able to vote for us. And the instructions will be there. Now, 1 or 2 things is going to happen. One, we're going to win, or we're not. Now, if we don't win, the evidence will be so tough that the New South Wales Electoral Commission will be found guilty of electoral fraud. It's just so obvious, because we know that they do that. Do not vote early. Don't go to the pre-poll. Turn up on the day. And why is this important? Because what they do with the boxes at the pre-poll is they throw them out. And they replace it with boxes of ballots pre-filled in according to the... Form a queue to come and arrest me, and maybe you'll get some extra... So they can't find any Islamic terrorists. But if you say the Lord's Prayer and the word sovereign, they have to arrest you. Ladies and gentlemen, the New South Wales Police Force, fucking come and get me. Yeah. Fucking come and get me. Now, there are a lot of good coppers out there, and they've been in contact with us. A lot of good coppers are saying, fuck this, get in and clean it up. Because they had had enough. They had had enough of the satanic pedophile sergeants and the masons. They had had enough of the satanic pedophile commissioned officers. All they want to do is be let off the leash and arrest the crims, and we're going to do that. The world is watching us. New South Wales is now an international news story. They didn't know what New South Wales was. Please let the car through, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice turn.
We'll get back to that a bit later. Apparently on some other channel, someone can't hear me. DK can't hear me apparently. But everything seems to be working here. Just checking my power button, folks. Let's just check this button. Yep, seems to be working. DK, what are you doing? Anyway, I'm going to give Vinny a call. See what he's doing. Okay. Press that button. You go. And very shortly the noises will start, and Vinny should be on the other end. Yes, I hear noise.
I'm here.
Yep, how are you, mate?
I'm, actually, I'm not quite ready for a show yet.
Oh, sorry. Well, you want me to call back in 5 minutes? I got another fucking, I cut the video short, so I thought I'd call you.
What? It might take me 20 minutes or something.
Well,
maybe start the show without me, and I'll join you in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, I've already started the show. The show's been going about, I don't know, 10, well, how long's it been going? 15 minutes so far. Yeah. But anyway.
How long?
Okay,
How
well,
long is it in total?
I don't know. I'll just keep, I might, yeah. I normally go for at least an hour. Sometimes less, sometimes more. But I'll tell you, what, you want me to give you a call back and say half an hour?
I'll give you a ring back on this Skype, eh?
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, do that.
I'll be quick as I can.
No worries, mate. Okay, talk to you soon, mate. Bye.
See you.
Well, that worked well, didn't it? Could have played the rest of the other video, which I'll get back to anyway. Might as well finish it off. If it's there, alright. Pull it up on the other screen. Press play.
Thank you for that.
Jump around too much.
They didn't know what New South Wales was, and now it's the #1 news story around the planet. Let's keep that pressure on. Spread the word. Now, they are watching us. Why? Because everybody wants out of this jail. We're going to be the first ones. We're going to show Australia how to do it. We're going to show the world how to do it. We're going to come together like never before. We're going to find a peaceful electoral solution, even though we know that we have an unconstitutional government in Canberra. We know that they are passing laws that aren't laws. We know that they are guilty of treason, even under their own bad definition of treason. And yet, and just so we are clear on this, why we are pursuing this particular objective this way. There's the optics, what do people believe, what it looks like, and reality. Now, the reality is there is no constitution. It is unconstitutional. We get it. We know. But when 25.69 million Australians believe the Governor-General is the Governor-General and the Prime Minister is the Prime Minister, you got to go with the flow. So it's a lot easier than, for example, the common law people saying, Article 61, Magna Carta. And I love the common law people. But I don't need a piece of paper signed in 1215 by a king who recanted within 24 hours to claim my sovereignty.
Yep.
I don't need a piece of paper. There's two reasons why. One, it's bullshit. Two, it doesn't stop a 9mm bullet. So waving all the paper you want to ain't going to work, guys. So keep on teaching common law. Go for it. I love it. But it's not the solution. And armed conflict is not the solution because we know it doesn't work. A civil war is a wound that no country ever heals, ever. Now, despite the provocation of the feds in Canberra, where they attacked us with direct energy weapons, and I saw the result of it, and people were down badly, we did not retaliate violently. Despite the thuggery by some members of the New South Wales Police Force, and I hope they're getting all the sex they want in prison. And they're going to have a few people join them very shortly. And we might put them in the general population. The thuggery that we've been subject to, and yet we have not fought back. And is that because we can't? Absolutely not. It's because we're smart and we don't want to because it doesn't work. We are going to find the electoral solution. Now, the electoral solution is this. We band together at this election, 25th of March. And the result will be so overwhelming, they cannot cheat their way out of it. We get into Parliament, we find evidence of crime, we lock up the bastards, and we give you a free and fair election. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your peaceful attendance today. We've got 5-6 weeks of hard work ahead of us. We'll have a website up shortly. You'll be able to go on and find out how you can help and who you can help and how to download all the work. And just so the New South Wales Electoral Commission is at peace, because, you know, be peaceful, my beating heart. I don't want them to panic that we're going to cheat, because we don't cheat, because we're good, honest people, unlike the New South Wales Electoral Commission. So get ready. We've got 5-6 weeks. The world is watching. The entire planet is watching. And if we get this right, and we will, you watch the 26th. You watch Donald Trump come out on the 26th and say, ladies and gentlemen, look at Australia. Yep. That's how we do it. Thank you very much.
All right. There's the word from what I believe very, very soon. You know, as Rick said, we're going to be about 6 months to try and sort out this state. But what we want to see then, guys, is that the power of the people actually put up to the federal. Okay, and that's the next place we need to get in and clean out. We're going to make it New South Wales a great place to live again, and that's our intention. All right, our intention, and how we do that is we take all the corruptness out and we put goodness in. Okay, then we can see things changing our way. Okay, so yeah, I'd just like to thank Ricardo and Ria.
Looks like it's frozen, folks. Yeah, well, it was right at the end anyway. Let me just shut that thing down. Yes, it can go away. Right, anyway. Welcome to Amos Sewn 56. It's a new show with a bit of difference. I'm winging it. I've written nothing down. But then again, when I write stuff down, things don't seem to work anyway. At the moment, no encoder issues, nothing like that that's happening. And part of the conversation today was to start off was I wanted to talk to Vinny about the show issues, and everything seems to be working fine. Bloody typical. It's a conspiracy. Maybe not. Anyway, that last video was Ricardo Bosey and in the end Guru. They're both running for the Senate. There's only the New South Wales election coming up shortly. Well, that'd be interesting if they get in. I hope they do well. You know, I want to see some change like we all do, whether it happens or not. Whether they'll cheat or not, what's the chance they won't cheat? Surely. Anyway, I might have a look at some news. I haven't really looked at this, but I opened the ABC's front page, and this is what I saw. Not that. This one maybe. That one, yes. Surprise guilty plea over 1988 death of John Scott's from where is he from? Yes. Yeah, well, it's back in the day where gays went to the cliff in out Bondi Way. This guy got pushed over by some people, and so it sounds like a murder. There was movies and everything made out of it. It's just read what they say, not what I say. So what I say could be conjecture. The news, well, you've got to believe the news, it's written in the paper. Anyway, a man arrested over the 88 death of an American mathematician, Scott Johnson, in Sydney, has pleaded guilty to manslaughter after having a murder conviction quashed on appeal and previously maintaining his innocence. Scott Johnson's body was found at the base cliffs at the Gay Beat, Manly, 88. His death was one of the city's long-running mysteries. Mysteries? Are you sure? Yes. Decades later, Scott White, shall we say, was arrested. In early last year, he surprised lawyers with a guilty plea to the charge of murder at a pre-trial hearing, but immediately attempting to reverse it. Jeez, isn't that surprising? 52-year-old was sentenced to 12 years in jail, but the conviction was quashed in November when the New South Wales Court of Appeal found the primary judge had applied the wrong legal test to determining whether White could withdraw his plea. And it goes on, and yeah, what's it all mean, I wonder? What's we all know this. Just get this out and all. Let me talk to you face to face for a minute. The things that are going on in the media and everything around at the moment, all of this transgender and gay sort of rights. I've got nothing wrong with people being gay and transgender or whatever they want to do, because it's your choice. But for the fact of the media and everything promoting it to ad nauseum, is the word of the day. Because in everything you see, every news report, everything in the paper, is about something to do with gay situations. Why? I hear you ask. Well, most people haven't thought about it. But it's could it be linked to the worldwide agenda for total control? destroy the family unit, make everyone unsure of who they are, and they're doing it in schools. I'm not going to mention any more about that, but they're doing it in schools, and it's frankly disgusting. And this transgender thing, there's two genders, male, female. Probably get cut off for that. Oh, that sounds painful. Anyway, see if I can find anything else interesting in the news. Something that doesn't trigger me. You know what triggering means? Come on, come back up. Doesn't want to play. Well, maybe because I... Yep, there we go. Now, left a bad taste in my mouth. Glennis is sick of dealing with Qantas and its big profit hasn't helped. Oh, hang about. We're having answer that. Maybe just turn that off. Hello. Excuse me for a sec, mate. I've just got I've got... Hello. Excuse me for a sec, mate. I've just got a bit of a background thing happening. Yeah. Let's see.
That's because on your live stream thing, it's not muted. You know, like on the YouTube.
Oh, right. No, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, it's gone now. I'll fix that. That was a sound from the other computer.
Oh, there we go. That's even better.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'll get you on the screen. Oh, you're in the background at the moment. Yep. Well, yeah. Yeah, turn your camera on if you like. It's on.
It's on.
It's on. Maybe it's taking a minute.
Bloody Wi-Fi, eh?
Yeah. Well, it's really funny. There's been no issues today. Hang about. I've got that turned off. I had the video turned off too. Yeah. And yeah, well, any second, folks.
Hello, everybody.
Yep. This is not the Vinnie Eastwood show, but but inspired by the Vinnie Eastwood show. The show basically. And it's doing things, of course. I've probably got too much stuff running and it doesn't want to play. But it's recording and playing and hasn't glitched or anything. Just this camera thing. So, anyway, I was talking about when we spoke before. Your show the other day with that, what was his name again? Philip Ashworth. He went through some horrors due to the schooling that he went into, folks. And, well, basically...
Yeah, if you thought your schooling was horrible...
this guy's schooling was next level horrible. He was went to, I think it was Knox College or something in... Is that Melbourne or Sydney?
Yeah, well, commonly known as the School of Hard Knocks.
Yes, definitely, I'll say. And, well, he was abused by people and these sort of things. It's not new news, folks. It's all over the place, unfortunately. It's what my friends down in Canberra are doing at the moment are trying to expose the 28, which is 28 alleged pedophiles from the Wood Royal Commission back in the 90s here in Australia. And their suppression order, and they're trying to, get the suppression order lifted as much as how they can. There's court cases, there's protests. It's many faceted thing, the Australian freedom movement, and this Philip Ashworth and the guys down in Canberra should meet. I think, even if it's a phone call conversation or something. I'll talk to who I know. And you talk to and might be able to get into exchange phone numbers or something.
Yeah, my people will call your people.
Yeah. It's a shame the camera's not working. Now they've just got to look at my pretty face. So your camera's working, isn't it? But yeah,
it is. It's turned off and on again.
Yeah. Okay. Well, try that. Off.
I mean, I turned mine on and on again.
Oh right. Yeah. Well, it's not.
No problem.
Yeah. It's got a little circle thing moving. Think about the circles. and it's like loading or something because maybe I've got too much running in the background.
Crop circles.
Yeah, a little crop circle in the middle of the field. Maybe I can always get that back later. I'll close browser down. Might give me computer a little bit more go, but yeah, it's surprising. It's actually everything else is working except for your picture.
Limit heck.
Oh well, I'm sure.
Hey, why don't you try calling me? Maybe that'll work.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I'll hang up. You call me.
No worries. Okay.
All right.
Talk soon. Okay. Let's get this one out of the way. Get this one out of the way. And find the right button to push. Call. Where's the call button? Video button. Yeah. Ta-ta-ta-ta. It's doing nothing at the moment. Oh, here we go. Ta-da. We're live.
All right. I'm
Yes.
back.
You're back, yes, but you're still...
Video's still not working, eh?
No, still not working.
Bloody technical issues, eh?
Yeah, but... yeah, well, it's quite a shame, actually, but... yeah, at least everything else seems to be working. Yeah, it's probably first time ever. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll go turn my camera off then. This is going to be an audio only. Sure.
Yeah,
Easy
okay.
peasy.
Well, may as well just... Yep. Get rid of that out of my screen as well. Goodbye, Vinny. Hello, Vinny. So, just got my... my background, I've got a background TV just part of my show. I just put a lot of different photos up there and I just scroll through. Some people have something to look at, except for me. But and yeah, well, when someone's on or something, that covers that bit of the screen because I'm off to the side. Yeah, it's slowly working this OBS thing out, and it's quite entertaining. Well, I don't think that many people are watching. There's I've got 190 subscribers on YouTube, about 20 or so on Twitch. But well, it all goes down on BitChute as yours does and lots of people's does too.
Now, I've just sent you a picture of me and my little boy for you to put up for people.
Oh, right, cool. Right.
In the Skype here.
Right, in the Skype, okay.
In the chat.
Yeah, okay, well, let's see if I can bring that up. Where's the button? Alright, where's the chat?
Yeah, so he's 3 weeks old today.
Oh, yeah, cool, got it.
Born on the 1st of February at 10 a.m.
Yep.
So it was good that he's born on the 1st because my sister Janine's birthday's on the 2nd. You know how terrible it is when you have the same birthday? Yeah. Especially as somebody you're related to.
Right, I might be able to show that on the screen, I think, if this works. Right. Just creating another thing. So sorry, folks, it takes a while sometimes when you're on the fly. And
I was up real late last night, man. Spoke to Lee Williams from Cross the Rubicon, and there's these new billboards up in New Zealand that say "Proud to be Māori" with 3 Māori people standing there. And I was thinking, imagine how much of a furor that would cause if you had 3 white people standing there saying "Proud to be white." You know, it's just like that reverse racism thing. It just don't work in this country, man.
Yeah. Well, I've got a picture of you up on the screen now.
Fantastic.
You and the baby. I'll just shrink you down a bit, and it's a picture of you. And it looks like we're talking. How's the baby going anyway, mate?
He's going real well.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Keeping you awake at night or not?
He did last night because we've got the mother of the bride visiting at the moment, so we had to all sleep together in the same room.
Oh, that was fun, I'm sure.
Didn't get to sleep until about 4 a.m, I think, so I'm a bit knackered today.
Yeah. Well, these things happen. It's part of the parenting thing, I guess. Yeah. So, congratulations once again, because it's another little Kiwi warrior, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the world's a better place by the time he grows up. That's what I always try to be positive. Yeah,
No, well, I'll turn him into a freaking warrior. So if it doesn't,
yeah. Should be looking forward to the future. Actually, a lot of what we read and hear all over the place is basically doom and gloom and all sorts of horrible shit. But hey, I'm still positive. I still feel that well, my main philosophy is most of the people in the world are having a worse time than us, and
yeah.
and so we are so lucky in the West at the moment. Things may change.
Well, it's funny you should mention the word lucky because I'm thinking you're Australian. You live in the lucky country. You know?
Yeah. So of course, it's more of a nanny state now. Yeah, the Australia I remember when I was growing up in the late '60s, early '70s. It was a beautiful place to grow up and become the bloke I am now, shall we say.
Yeah.
You could trust people, but I'm sure a lot of bad shit was still happening back then too, of course, because
Yeah.
the world hasn't turned bad overnight.
I mean, everybody's like seen the series Underbelly or something like that, and I haven't seen it.
Yeah, right,
But from what I've heard, it's basically like the worst of the worst criminals in Australia doing all sorts of really bad criminal stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, that's not the underbelly. Have you seen what the parliamentarians and the Freemasons are up to, bro?
Well, that's right. Fiction is generally nowhere near as graphic as what the real life is. Let's face it. In so many
people
instances.
can't freaking handle too much truth in their fiction, kind of thing. Like it has to be believable.
Yeah, and well, if you believable. Well, you don't watch the news for that.
Well, it's like I always say, man. I look at the news as a form of entertainment,
Yeah.
and I see the movies as a form of news.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is pretty much. Well, I don't know. Actually, I haven't been watching many movies lately either. Because I don't pay for it.
I recently finished watching the Westworld series.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have to forgive me. I have to eat something. I'm starving.
Yeah. No, that's okay. Yep.
In Westworld, I mean, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen it. Basically, you got artificial people. Human beings go to a park, and they've got all these artificial people here that they can do whatever they want to. They can kill them, they can rape them, they can do anything. Go for your life, son. And these artificial people don't like that, and they have a bit of a
funny about that.
Bit of a revolt, and then they play the same card on humanity. They start programming humankind to march to their tune,
Yeah.
And eventually, freaking mankind goes extinct, and all these AIs that are still left, they just prefer a digital existence.
Really? That's because I remember the old movie Westworld back in the what was that? Yul Brynner back in the late '60s, early '70s, something.
I thought in 1976 it was written by Michael Crichton, the author of Jurassic Park.
There you go, folks. The media mogul, well, mogul, but anything about movies, not anything, but most things that he knows. Yes. 1976, eh? Yeah, well, that movie was quite shocking in itself. I remember seeing it as a young bloke. Well,
oh, yeah.
And, and the new series is worse, eh?
Well, it's...
well, not worse, but...
HBO, the guys who do Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Right, so you think of the... Or at least Game of Thrones is the most expensive television show ever made.
Yeah.
And... you heard of the new Star Trek films? They were all directed by J.J. Abrams.
Yep.
And J.J. Abrams produced this Westworld series.
All right.
And it was aired on HBO. So you've got...
There's the quality, shall we say.
Yes. And it's starring Anthony Hopkins as well. And
oh, really?
Yeah. So, and Ed Harris.
Anthony Hopkins, is he a robot?
No.
He's a real person, eh?
Apparently so. So yeah, it's well worth the watch and that kind of thing. But again, it's not entertainment. It's you're watching the news. They're telling you what's coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like a lot of commentators have said, that person could it looks like a robot, or you've got masks or whatever like that sort of. And yeah, how typical is that? You don't know who is a robot because what the technology that we know is old hat compared to what really is really around, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, tens of thousands of years in advance, kind of like breakaway civilization type thing is what's happening underground.
Yeah, yep, yeah.
Figuratively and literally.
hmm And I was watching something earlier today by Axe something or other, I don't know. But he was talking about the 132-year cycle or something, that every 132 years is a major reset. And one's coming in 2040. So, yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if I'll still be around then. I'll be in my late 70s. If I get there.
You'll still be around him.
Oh, only the good die young? Well, I should. Anyway, let's not go there. Oh.
Well, my naturopath told me when I found out I had a liver issue, he said, Vinny, you've got a choice. You can change or you can die.
Yeah. Well, I haven't made that decision yet because I'm still drinking. Probably a little bit too much. I'm just thinking about maybe I want a beer now. Yes.
Why not, bro? Why not?
I thought,
It's a free fucking country, isn't it?
Yeah. Let me ponder that one for a minute. I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah. All right, hey everybody, this is Vinny Eastwood, broadcasted live from the Amos show. Is it the Ellen Mosdale show, the Amos show? I don't fucking know. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in with us. And things like Amos is back. He's got himself a beer.
Ah, that's better. Here's the sound I've been waiting for.
It's like if a burglar intrudes into your house and you don't have a shotgun, but it's real dark, so you just like pretend.
Yeah, open a can. It sounds a bit like that. Make my day. Yes. Yeah. See this, put on this side of the screen. This lovely old lady down the bowling club was knitting these stubby coolers. How cool is that, eh? Yes, some creative people down the bowl, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You haven't been to a bowling club yet, have you?
I went to one at the Irish Society, but of course we weren't playing bowls. We were watching the rugby.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Ireland was getting beaten by the All Blacks so badly.
Oh, yeah.
I think in the first half, the All Blacks scored their 7th try to 0.
Yeah,
and I heard this Irishman just cry out, "I need a drink!"
That's probably one of the most common statements by Irish, I'll tell you, isn't it? Not just Irish, yeah. I think I've uttered those few words a few times. Yeah, I think I just did. Yeah, but maybe one day you should have a look at giving bowls a go. Because it's sort of a graceful sort of sport, and it's not real hard. You just could, but then being a tall fella like you are, a lot of people, real tall people these days, they're using these sticks. They're like an extension of your arm. It's not a robot. They call it the claw or something sometimes, but yeah, you call it a bowling arm extension. They are really handy, and you can just roll the bowl standing up, sort of thing. You don't have to lean over down to the green, sort of thing. Used to be for just medical exemptions and things, those sort of things, but it does make the game a lot easier accessible to lots of different people. So I'll just recommend one day you give it a go. Okay.
That claw.
Well, you might like it. Yeah, I started my bowls career about the age of 45. I was used to walk my dog round the path and chat to this bloke over the back fence, sort of thing. This is a great little thing. Like my dog talked to his dog, and we fucking chat about bullshit. And he said, "You ever tried bowls?" I said, I'm not old enough for that." And he said, eventually taught me into going down there, and And the game's not too bad. And then I discovered that the bowling club's got the best beer in Wanji, so that's a no-brainer. So, yeah. And now I'm actually on the board. I'm getting pretty bored with that. No, just helping things happen in the little club.
You're on the board, Miss Ford.
Yes, I've got a seat of power. No thanks. Well, it's not. It's all voluntary sort of thing. It's the only people that get paid is the bar staff, and everything else is voluntary. It's a great little club. Not many clubs like it. Most clubs like us have long gone. You know, the fact that we're still open is quite astonishing, really. And well,
Probably because you got people out there in the community convincing people to come in and start bowling before they get too old.
that's a. Geez, you've got such an insight. So, well, that's what I'm doing right now, trying to influence you to give it a go, because it's, well, I don't know, do you need a hobby?
I mean, I do bowls, but not the kind you roll,
Ten pin? Oh,
the kind you smoke.
oh yes, those sort of bowls. Yeah, well, actually, I have one of those bowls all the time, and I've got a problem with my bowl at the moment. It's empty. It means I've got to go do some chopping and things. Yeah. Anyway, I think the audience knows what we're talking about there. Maybe.
Well, one can only hope.
Yeah. Well, if there's anyone, actually, let's have a look. Is anyone watching YouTube? No, one watching, which means probably DK. DK is watching earlier in the show. Like I checked everything, and everything seemed to be working. And then DK was saying in the chat room, it's on mute. You can't hear, sort of thing. And it turned out that he was on mute. You know, his speaker, the app, or the browser he was using was on mute. So, yeah, it was his fault for once.
That's why we call him DK.
Oh, that is a cool bloke. It's a funny thing with DK, like, he's on Telegram now mainly, or pretty much only. I haven't been able to get, the conversations they have. My Telegram won't let me join the conversations. I've looked through his settings, I've looked through the whole thing, I've no idea what the story is there. Do you know much about Telegram?
No, not as much as one could hope.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense to me, because it started with one computer, this computer I'm streaming on, so I've got the other one, and at the start I couldn't connect on one computer, but I could connect on the other. Could still open Telegram with no worries and type in whatever I want, but the video portion of it, it won't let me do it. And I don't know why. It'll work itself out, or it won't. Because it shows, well,
you got people out there encouraging you to go and do bowls, but not too many people encouraging you to go to an IT class to figure out how to use fucking Telegram.
Yeah, well, shouldn't be that hard. Well, there'd have to be a Discord group or something, wouldn't there? Yeah, that's the thing. That's how I normally. Yeah, search on the internet. That's what we do. Yeah, whatever they took the internet down, we'd have to. Do you know what a book is? Oh, yeah. We all know what books are, and I halfway through reading half a dozen at the moment, but I just never seem to finish them. Because I know since I started wearing glasses, I get tired watching words. Funny enough now. I used to devour books, like sort of 1,000 pages in a week, something like that. Some weeks, not normally that.
I remember when I was a kid, like I think I was 12. And I read Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton in one day. And that was a school day, and that's a 482-page novel.
Fucking hell. You read pretty quickly, do you, I'd imagine? Or?
No, I'm not sure if I read particularly quickly at all. But
yeah. A lot of times it's taking it in too. Like these days I find I've got to reread some things because did I miss something there, Must be a sign of getting old or something? Nah, couldn't be that. I'm not. I'm still the young man I used to be. It's just the body that's getting old.
No, I found as soon as I started getting stoned, it's very, very difficult to read. You know, because you forget what the last paragraph was or something like that, and you go back and you read it, and you like, or you zone out and you drift off. You like your eyes are going over the page, but none of the words are actually going in. You're thinking about something else, and then you go back and you miss your place, and you're like, oh man, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, well, that could be that. Surely it couldn't be that. I don't smoke that much, but yeah, well, maybe I do. Yeah, well, it's another puzzle of life, isn't it? Yeah. So, how's the weather over there now? Auckland folks. Know what happened in Auckland recently, or New Zealand recently? Anyway, carry on.
Well, excuse me. The weather over the last 2 weeks was like the worst weather I've ever seen in all 38 years of my life living in New Zealand. Like, never seen anything like it. We had a flood, a biblical scale. Got a supermarket chain in here called Pack and Save, and after the flood, they changed the name to Pack and Swim. It was freaking delugeous. You know, had an eyewitness saying that there was a guy who was just in a little car on the side of the road, and within 3 seconds, this wall of water just washed over his car and just drowned him.
Yeah.
You know, just like all of it, like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah.
Just heard from my soon-to-be mother-in-law about her son who lives up down in Wanganui.
Yep.
And his job is to, make sure the lines don't short out. You know how you have linesmen and stuff like that.
Yep.
And they say, okay, as the water gets up to this part of the power pole, this is a few meters in the air, turn the power off, otherwise it's going to short out or whatever.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, yeah, sweet ass. And they're watching it. And they turn around to look at something for a few seconds, like a few actual seconds.
Yep.
And then they turn back around and they had to turn the power off.
Yeah.
Like it was just a deluge like the likes of which nobody's ever seen in this country. I mean, it seems like nobody's ever seen it, but it happened in I think it's a record rainfall. The most rain that Auckland's ever had in a single day was 160 millimeters, and 2 weeks ago the most rain we ever had in a day became 250 millimeters.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a quarter of a metre, folks. That's a bunch of rain just dropped straight on top of your head, basically. All over everything. It's a bit of water, and that, it does, when you have rain before, is the place flood prone in any way, shape or form generally?
I mean...
Is there many areas that are flood prone, shall we say?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the whole frickin' country is an island chain. So as soon as you've got a hurricane that comes around and you've got the storm surge that lifts the water level of the sea, that'll cause flooding. And everybody's living, a lot of people are living alongside rivers and things like that, major rivers in New Zealand, like Hamilton, for example, and Wanganui and all these major rivers. So, yeah, bro. You can get huge floodplains out there in Coromandel and the Thames, but what's happened recently is a massive crisis, and this I'm not heard of anything like this scale happening in New Zealand before, but down the Hawke's Bay and Napier, this is where a good portion of New Zealand's produce gets grown.
Right.
In order to get into that area now. You remember when you were back in school and you had to have like a boat on a creek and with a rope across it, and you just step on the boat and use the rope and then get across to the other side of the bank.
Yep.
That is their main transport route now.
Yeah, we call them ferries.
All right, to get into that entire area, it is absolutely washed out and screwed, bro. And they're running out of food, they're running out of water, they're running out of supplies.
And that's New Zealand's food bowl, basically, up there, is it?
That's right. And the gangs, they say the horticulture, at least 50% of the horticulture has just been lost, like 50% of the crop. They had layers of silt so freaking high that it was actually much taller than a man, maybe 2.5 meters tall. Like that's how much silt they had to dig out from around their buildings. Their buildings were under 2.5 meters of silt.
And I imagine there's was it a lot of it like washed down from mountains and stuff, or up from the sea basically.
It's a mountainous area surrounding
So
a valley type area right next to the sea.
Yeah.
So it's just perfect storm conditions. And
mountains are a little bit smaller.
But that's not the worst part. The worst part is that there's I think at last count 3,850 people that nobody knows where they are, or they can't contact them. There's no power, there's no water, there's no roads, and there's no supplies getting in. So we've heard scattered reports of the gangs in the local area organizing and going into people's homes and kidnapping or holding people hostages in order to give up their food, and things like that. There's murders, shootings, all sorts of chicanery. Haven't had really any confirmation on all this, but in terms of the disaster relief scenario, it sounds about right to me.
Oh, that's disgusting, isn't it? People, they've lost sight of what humanity is. You're supposed to help your fellow man, not fucking help him into the grave. It's people just don't care, I guess. Well, some people do, but some people don't. How many of them say, "Oh, it's just following orders"? Yes, just a gang.
Well, the old Chinese character for crisis is the same as the character for opportunity.
Really?
Right, there's looting apparently going on. So it's a huge freaking crisis down there, man. And those people need a lot of help. Yeah. And we're doing a fundraiser on Sunday at 2 p.m. at Shooter's Bar.
Yeah.
To raise some money for those people down there.
Mm-hmm. Hope the money you raise gets through to the people. That's the transmission of donated monies is what worries most people. Is the money going to get there? Who knows? Yeah. But you've got to help wherever you can, can't you? And that's. I really feel for those people in New Zealand, of course, and you're a lot closer to the people that are having a worse time than the rest of us, aren't you? Oh. Okay, well, your how's your life going at the moment? Otherwise, you got any shows planned shortly? That?
Yeah, let's pull up my calendar and have a look. Eh?
Yeah, let's see what you're doing. Let's do a bit of free advertising on.
So tonight I'm going to be doing a call with Danny Romero from American Freedom Radio, who used to be Alex Jones's former producer.
Oh yeah, cool.
We're talking about doing a little documentary about the kind of starting of the truth movement in the early 2000s in Austin, Texas.
Yep.
Tomorrow I'm going to call Cars Best. She's a activist girl in New Zealand here who's like a survivalist and like a legal fiction thing and whatever. She's got like all sorts of technical things and whatnot that she wants to know how to do, but she can't do it or pay anybody. So I volunteered to help her to organise some of her stuff and get it up there. She had a huge YouTube channel with lots and lots of videos on there.
Yeah.
That just recently got deplatformed. And it was very, very sad. And she called me up last night thinking I was the shill.
Didn't she back things up? Because that's
Oh yeah, but if you've uploaded 1,000 videos, how long is it going to take you to re-upload them?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Mm.
Well, that's the sad thing about it. Did you back them up? Did you back them up? No, man, that stuff's memory hold now. Yeah. And because a lot of the stuff was of the time, even if you did re-upload them, virtually nobody would watch them, and virtually nobody less would freaking share them. So it's once they do that to you, Yeah.
Yeah, I never
So
really
you
thought
just
of
got
that
to
way,
basically, you
yeah.
just got to basically get everything sorted again. Coming up on Monday, I've got Dawn and David. I think they're from the UK about what really makes you ill. That's on the show on RBN.
Not beer, folks. Yep. Not
Yeah.
beer. Right.
And the
Anyway.
following week, I've got Trevor Loudon, I think, don't know who, and Robert Deutsch the week after that, on the 13th of March. You guys been predicting weather and all of that sort of thing. And then on the 20th, we've got David Weiss about the flat Earth.
Oh,
And
yeah.
on the 27th, I haven't got a show scheduled yet because I'm probably going to do that with Billy TK.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Because on the 30th, we're going to get sentenced
Right, yes.
and potentially be going to either jail or getting home detention or something like that. I don't know if I'll be able to do any shows.
Yes. No internet for so long, sort of thing. That's like that. That's tyranny, of course. Yeah. Yeah, they shouldn't be able to do that. It's Well, that's a moot point, isn't it? They shouldn't be able to do that, but they do. That's the world leaders, folks. Your local government leaders. They get told what to do, and they just do it, and we just accept it. Most of us.
Yeah,
Hey, Vinny.
it's a little unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, mate, I'm going to don't have to, but I've got things to do, and the show's been gone over an hour. It's pretty good.
Well, I'd like to thank you for inviting me on, and also like to thank the one person watching. You are a legend.
Yeah. I think it'll get uploaded to BitChute, and generally within a day, I've had up 30 to 50 viewers. People watch them.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah.
Well, there you go. We've got to start somewhere, mate.
Yeah. BitChute's. Hello to all those BitChute people who are watching the restream or whatever it is. Yeah. Thanks very much. Yeah. You're more valuable than that one person on the live stream. Unless it's DK. He's valuable. He's a mate.
Yeah.
Chucking me a disclaimer there.
Yeah. DK's awesome, bro. In
Yeah,
fact, I was just thinking about something just before we go. You know how there's a lot of people in the truth movement who are ragging on each other and like criticizing each other and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
It doesn't matter which truth movement you're in, the Canadian, the American, the Australian, New Zealand, they're all the freaking same.
Yep.
And I was just thinking to myself, hey, what if we just try an experiment here? What if we try to compliment all the other freedom fighters in our country when we sign off our shows and things like that? Would that make a difference? Who's out there who's real good, Alan?
Max Egan. I watch his shows all the time. Yeah.
All right.
Who else do I watch? You. I watch you a bit.
Thank you.
Who else? Oh, fuck, do I know? A lot of time I'm just scouring news channels and making sometimes.
Yeah, well, Topher
Field. That's
Field.
right. Yes. He's one that I've been watching a bit of late. I 1 or 2 episodes ago, I restreamed one of his things, and I've restreamed his stuff before. Yes,
I remember I interviewed him back in the day, and I asked him, you live in Australia, right? Is it true that your people walk single file to hide their numbers?
Oh, well said, Vinny. It really wasn't that much of a joke, but fuck, it was funny, wasn't it? It's a bad joke, but bad jokes can be funny.
Yeah. This is so bad. It's just so good.
Yeah.
The videos will show the joke's so bad that they're good.
Well, yeah. There must be something about your staff. Can't be you.
Well, and who else is out there in Aussie? Ricardo Bosey?
Yeah, Ricardo Bosey and the Guru on... was it,
the Aussie Guru, mate.
Yeah, Aussie Guru, yeah.
He's my man.
Yeah, mate. You've interviewed him too, haven't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've done
yeah,
it vice versa. Yeah.
yeah. That's right. Yeah, yeah. I've seen you on. I've seen those shows. Yeah. Um, I've tried to contact him a couple of times myself and that never got through. But I'll keep on trying. Eventually you'll see me on his show. I reckon.
Oh, look out, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Because a lot of the people in Canberra know me, but like I've gained probably 50, 60 subscribers from Canberra. I think something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I occasionally get notifications from them. They just come and they say, yeah. Well, I haven't had any spam yet. I haven't had anyone put shit on me. I must be pretty boring. That I haven't had any abuse yet. Yeah. Jeez, what's a man going to do?
Well, it look like this. You know, if you walk into an ice cream shop or whatever, and you see all these different flavors there, you know, and basically that's what the truth movement really is. It's just all these different flavors that you can choose from. So basically, you just keep them in the tub, man, and be cool.
Just let them out every now and then.
Yeah.
For a different flavour. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody gets a different way at the truth, you know, that kind of thing, and some are better than others, but at the end of the day, as long as you're doing the truth, it doesn't really matter how good it is or whatever, because you're not doing nothing.
Well, that's right. You're talking about stuff that should be on the mainstream media. You know, there should be news, because like I'm not doing this for money because I'm.
Well,
actually, by the way,
if you were, you must be fucking retarded.
yeah. Well, that's your business plan. I'm not there. Yeah. Well, I hopefully be able to carry this on into my retirement. But eventually, I'd like to. I'm going to branch out and do some different videos on leatherwork and things like that. And I might be able to monetize them. You know, and just other things I do. I don't just sit behind a computer all day. I'm a baker. I'm a leather maker. And I haven't yet to learn how to make candles. I'm not a butcher. Anyway. But yeah, eventually I'll branch out. I plan to do some leatherwork because I've seen some leatherwork videos that other people have done, and they're fucking boring as fuck. I should be able to make it entertaining somehow. Like just do I could produce something one day.
Well, I found that it's always another pair of eyes and another pair of ears on the same thing will see and hear different things, right?
Yep.
And so when you are making something, often it's really good to collaborate with somebody else because they'll see things that you didn't, you know, and ways to improve it that you wouldn't have thought of. Mm-hmm. And then you get to take credit for it.
Well, actually, that's sort of like what we're doing now too. And whenever you get a guest on, you try to improve it every time you're doing something. And then I learn things all the time, and I don't remember. I got a great memory, just a lousy recall system. I remember things, but it's generally too late. But that's okay. Yeah.
I remember most things, except I forget everything else.
Actually, I don't forget things. I'm pretty sure most of what I remember is still there. Because sometimes I think about things for a few minutes and it takes a while for it to come back, but it comes back. Sometimes. I think I'm pulling my leg. Anyway, might end it here. We're going to go see a man about a dog. And,
all right.
And make a mail first.
Thanks, everybody. And check me out at vinnieeastwood.com. And if you can, please scroll down that first banner there that you see on it called The Day Democracy Died and see the video of my arrest nearly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're still in court.
That's right. I've turned... Yeah, I was just going to quickly find your website and put it up, but... yeah, computer's doing too much at the moment to want to open a browser. It's going real slow. I just press the button and things are... Yeah. Well, I haven't had any encoder overload issues today. So thanks for your help, Vinny.
You're welcome. The magic touch.
All sorted, yeah. It's probably just because the internet's probably not as busy today, but normally on Thursdays it is. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? But thanks anyway. Hey, Vinny, thanks very much, mate, and I'll see you somewhere on the net, and chat again soon, mate.
All right, cheers. Love you, bro.
You too, mate. See ya.
See ya.
Okay. This should be out of the way. Well, I'll leave Vinny. Yeah. Yep. You can go away too. Yep. Cool. Okay. That was a great little convo with me mate Vinny. Might do a show this. Actually, probably won't do a show this Sunday because I'm putting the motor back in the bus. Well, part of the way anyway. But yeah, so the motor's back and it's just about ready to go under the bus. Throwing the motor under the bus. That's what I got to. That's how I install it.
Was it that big ugly red thing I saw on your Facebook or something?
Yeah. Oh, you're still there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That big ugly red thing. It's the motor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that didn't disconnect. Oh, well, that's okay. Yeah, okay. Well, have a good day, folks. Have a good life. Be good to each other. And, well, as Max always says, in Lakesh. All right, okay, well, stop streaming. So you're still there, Vinny?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Stream's just about stopped, I think. Yeah. As you try and do, it's probably, look, just as I was